Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the match preview for Middlesbrough. 5:30 kick-off, Baz. Look, sunshine there, Baz.
Sunny, hot outside.
Looking very resplendent in your yellow Toffee TV t-shirt, which is available in the comments. There's a little link. There's not many left. Get yourself one. Little plug there just at the start. I've got the away one on. You've got the third kid one on.
All good.
Oh, we're repping it. Middlesbrough, Saturday, brilliant chance to make it 3 Premier League wins in a row. When was the last time we done 4? Is it 4 Premier League wins in a row?
Good job on me.
I'm just forgetting.
Good job on me.
I'm just overcome. What I meant to say, we've won 3 Premier League games. Good chance to make 4. Which would be 5 games in a row, wouldn't it? Be 5 complete games in a row. If we include the League Cup. Yeah. Really good chance.
Built that up ridiculously.
No, it's a really good chance though, isn't it? I mean, Middlesbrough have had a decent start in the Premier League. You know, promoted team. They'll be quite happy with their start. But you look from our point of view, and I know we've said this a few times in terms of our fixtures before the next international weekend. It is a really good chance.
It's a great chance. I'm playing well. Big crowd.
Expecting crowd.
Well, yeah, an expecting crowd, but a manager who will warn against all of that. But okay. He'll warn against all the dangers of that. But saying that, up against the side that has only lost 1 of the first 4 as a promoted side. But okay, they're in the top 10.
But okay.
No, but they're going to come well organised, well drilled. We played them last year, of course, didn't we, in the League Cup, and beat them 2-0 up their place. So, it's a great opportunity for Everton to cement what's been a good start. And hopefully, with everyone now getting up to speed, we can kick on over these next few weeks.
I think what'll be, I mean, we've had a good start, and the games we played at home, obviously, beating drawing with Spurs was a good result, I suppose, on the day, and then we beat Stoke slightly more nervously in the last home game. But this game, it'll be as I say, there'll be a little bit more expectation because of the last game. Because we have won a couple of games, because we're looking all right, we're not conceding goals, and I think Middlesbrough will probably try and turn that by being organised, trying to be hard to beat, trying to sneak a goal on the break themselves, and that's where I suppose is the difference, isn't it? Probably to the first few games where fans just want to see the development. And I know we're still not that many games into the season. People will be going to Goodison on Saturday thinking 3 points this, and if you don't entertain us, we're not going to be. I mean, I really hope it's not like that. I think people have got to understand, haven't they, that there's still a lot of things to work on.
Yeah, I don't particularly see it like that. I think you're right in terms of expectation. We'll all go there and we'll expect Everton to play well. We'll expect Everton to score goals. We'll expect Everton to win. This may be a game where we have to be patient, but we are only talking about the 5th game of the season.
Yeah.
Take the Yeovil game out the equation for now. I think even Roberto Martinez could have beaten Yeovil, but I think we're talking about the 5th league game under his stewardship, and at the moment he's doing really, really well. He's making important decisions. They're paying off, and Saturday will be a different type of test for us, like you say, because they're going to come. And I should imagine he'll try and beat tight and come back. But Sunderland tried to do that the other night. We had 65% of the ball. They tried to stay tight.
But I think the difference with that game compared to this game is I think Sunderland suffered from the fact in the second half that their fans did expect them to go and have a little go in the second half, and that started opening spaces up for us. Whereas Middlesbrough won't need to do that. They won't feel like they need to attack us all out. They'll be organised. Their manager will say, right, defend first, try and stifle them, try and frustrate them, maybe maybe frustrate the crowd, which is happened very easily last season. It's important. I know it's only 5 games in, but I do look at like social media, and I do look at the comments and the videos and things like that, and I do wonder, the expectation level has gone up. You've got, and I know we're all but people have looked at the last games, and it's very easy to get ahead of yourself, and you're seeing idiot people on the radio, not me, saying things like could Everton be this season's Leicester and all those kind of things. Well, that's all great and well, but you've got to beat the likes of Middlesbrough, haven't you? You've got to go to Bournemouth next week. You've got to beat Palace. You've got to get those wins in the bank first before you can start having those expectations. And I think some fans can get ahead of themselves, and that's what I'm saying. It's all right for, you know, quite grounded people like me and you who've seen it all before, and you know, I know you said you've looked at the table. I don't really look at it, but people will get carried away with it, won't they? And it's just got to manage that.
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with having expectations. I think what Everton have done really well is the last 3 games, Spurs games, was a good result at the time. You know, we weren't fully fit, as he said, but the next 3 games you looked at and you went, they're all winnable. 7 out of 9 isn't bad, but 3 wins would be great. And we've gone and won the games, and we've won them better and better. West Brom was a bit of a battle, and we overcome it. Stoke should have been more than the 1 that we got. Yeah, they could have grabbed an equaliser late on, but the game should have been dead and buried. Then we had the break, and we went to Sunderland and we tore them apart second half, and it should have been more. Middlesbrough will be a different proposition, and some fans possibly have got to tone it down a bit, but why not enjoy it? We're winning, we're playing well, we've got a new manager. But the key for me, and it's to be honest, it's the key in most games, but the key for me will be the first goal. I think if Everton get it, it's no good them sitting in unless they're just open to keep the score down. And if they come out and then try and play, we have got more than enough to. No,
you're right there. People should enjoy it. I think patience, as you said, is more the key, isn't it? But I think what's great, like you just said there, though, is it is all about the first goal. You know, if we score the first goal, we'll go and look for more, and if they get it, they'll try and stifle us. But the big advantage with that so far this season is we've got a defence that obviously looks a lot meaner, and looks like it wants to defend, and looks like it doesn't. You know, it's not saying it's perfect, no defence is, but it's a defence that wants to defend, and that's always going to give you a brilliant platform, isn't it? Whether you're playing home or away, you know, if you're not shipping goals, and you get, it's like forwards, isn't it? You know, forwards are scoring goals with the confidence. It's the same with the back line. If they're not shipping goals, they get confidence from that, and they suddenly feel 10 foot tall and feel like they're not going to concede goals.
Well, one plays into the other. I remember the photo last year of was it the Stoke game at home, and Lukaku had scored a couple, and there was that picture where he had his hands on his hips, like looking down at the opposition scoring again, and it was almost like no matter what I do, that happens at the other end, you know, and that they lose confidence in each other. Whereas Ashley Williams and Jagielka, you mentioned it the other day on Final Words, 93rd minute, still diving in, getting blocks in because they don't want to concede, and then you look up front then and go, Rom will get us a goal. If we do our job, he's more than capable of getting us a goal. Vice versa, if he gets the goal, he can think, them two at the back have got this sewn up, and everyone gets that confidence. Last year, no one was doing the job apart from Gareth Barry. Everyone else was hit and miss, weren't they? And Koeman's done really, really well. Baines said the other night, they went back to basics. They learned how to defend again. They've learned the basics of football, which was more a dig, I think, at the other fella. And they've started, and they're just applying that. They're fitter and stronger, hungry, and he doesn't allow it to just drift, and that's the thing. You just said fitness there. Ron Koeman said today in his press conference that the level of training has gone up again because they're all fit now. They're all to his level, so now the training goes up again to the next level because they've reached that level where they should be, and now there's an intensity in training. As he said, you train like you play, and I think that again that's a David Moyes thing. You know, with all due respect to David Moyes, under Moyes we were one of the fittest sides, of course, and his defensive side of it, we were strong defensively. We just didn't have enough in the final third under Moyes. Koeman talks the same way in terms of that. If you train at the way you play, then it's nothing to surprise you. You don't have to turn your levels up on the day of the match because you're already ready. I mean, Enna Valencia gave an interview yesterday and said that the training's much harder here than it was at West Ham. So, you know, there's quite clearly improvements in that training. Yeah, and that's going to help us not only, well, it's going to help us at all the game, but the latter stages. I mean, Lukaku the other night looked pretty strong late on, didn't he? We haven't really. He's one of those who, you know, seems to tire, as you know, Delafeu. Can't really judge that yet because he hasn't really played the proper full 90 yet at that level. So that'll be interesting to see if he's there. But it's going to be, once again, there's chances, isn't there, for a different team. I mean, obviously Monday night it was Holgate and Coleman. This week we've got, you know, does Delafeu come in? What do we do with Ross? He said about Ross today, he said I've had a little word with him. He's got to improve, got to raise his levels because there's people on the bench that'll happily take his place, and he's not a manager who's going to be worried about
names, personalities, whether they're the blue or not, whether the marketing department wants them on every post, you know, all those little things that play into this weak-minded, I think, decisions for some managers. But this fella's not going to have it.
No, because everything is all about the team, and that's what it's about. It's great having your Ross Barkley's, your Lukaku's, your Delafeu's, Balassi. It's great having all of them, and they're fantastic, and they get you on the edge of your seat. But one of them isn't doing it. They need to be taken out. And this was a criticism we had last year with John Stones, with Tim Howard, with Rom at times. Okay, it would have been difficult to say Rom. We didn't have anybody else.
When you say okay, but you have to put a but in front of it. That's the new law.
It's okay. At times when the form dipped, they weren't taken out, and it was to the detriment of them and to the supporters, because we'd go in and be a bit deflated. He's already demonstrated he doesn't care. He doesn't care if you're not doing it, you're out. And so Ross Barkley sat on the bench the other night in that second half thinking, I've come off here, it was 0-0, I'm sat here and we look like a totally different team, winning 3-0, and I'm sat on the bench. I don't want this to happen to me again.
Do you think that's a manager like him can do that because basically it's a case of shows you medals? Do you think that's the difference between him and someone like Martinez, is that he can walk into that dressing room and just go and just, if you don't respect me, you should respect me because of everything I've done in the game. Whereas someone like who hasn't necessarily done in the game or done at the lower levels mightn't have that confidence to walk into a dressing room and dominate it. I know there's obviously you've got the likes of Mourinho and Wenger who just have that. Well, they have different characteristics about the personality, but just knowing you've done it means you can just walk in and just say, listen, I've got all the experience, I've been here, seen it. You will do what I say.
Of course, and he had that from day one, didn't he? Because of what he's done in the game. So that respect when he came to Everton was there. He'd already, and plus he demonstrated it in the Premier League with Southampton. The adversity that to get over there in terms of losing half of his team and still having them competitive. So he already had that, and then I suppose as the players work with him day by day, and he can see, he knows what he's talking about, and we're doing well. I think it's easy to sell any idea to any player when you're doing well. You know, people will listen to it. Martinez in his first year, people bought into what he was doing because the results were good. This fella has got more than just that. He's got, things are going well, I'm a good manager, and I was a fantastic player, and I have been there and done it. So players will listen and go. You don't have to listen to any interview they do. They mention what a player was.
But you just said, like, it's if the player sees that they're improving and the team is improving, because I'm sure they all under the first year of Martinez, they would have sat there going, we're improving, this is good, we're enjoying it. What you noticed in the last 18 months of Martinez's tenure was players clearly had turned the corner and decided that it wasn't improving the team and it wasn't improving the player. So I think that's a big thing as well. I mean, and you get it from professionals like Baines, who worked under Moyes, worked under Martinez, worked under different managers. If he feels like he's improving, like he's lost a couple of years, and the training would help someone like Baines, because he's been prone to a few injuries in the last couple of seasons, which may have been not helped by the fact that he wasn't getting pushed in training. He wasn't banging.
You push yourself in a game. That's what the hamstring injuries come from. We had an unbelievable amount of them, because if you're training at 70% in training and then you're running at 100%, your muscles aren't. You can get a hamstring injury at any time, no matter how fit you are. That's by the by. But to have, I think we had 23 hamstring injuries over 80 or a year or something. That isn't normal. It's not normal, because it's normal at Arsenal,
which sort of factors in probably maybe the same kind of thing.
There's a balance, isn't it? And this fella wants you as fit as you can possibly be, and Everton are benefiting from that, and the players are benefiting from it. And the likes of Baines has had, in my eyes, has had 2 years off. So I think he come. People tell me now he's not as good as he was. Well, he'll just change, but he's still a fantastic player.
That'll probably prolong the likes of his career as well, because you have to look at John Terry at Chelsea, and you look at, and I bet you we all know what Mourinho's like, but I bet you Mourinho pushed them through some brick walls, didn't he? And someone like John Terry would have responded, and he's getting the benefits out of that by prolonging his career. Look at all the players who played under Ferguson. Someone like Giggs, how long he went into his career. Because they were pushed and they were at the fittest, and then they were clever at the end of the day. Clever how they were used. But I mean, Middlesbrough, as we've said started well, made a lot of good signings in the summer for me. You know, good experience, but Negado in the front, who, you know, when he was at City did quite well till I think he got a bit of an injury, and then so he's a really, I think, good signing because he brings.
Remember?
Yeah. But he's a good signing because he'll score goals, but also he's got experience. He's a focal point. And I think teams that get promoted, they're always lacking either experience or a genuine goal threat, and with him they've got a bit of both. Definitely,
they've got Valdez in and goal, of course. They've got Stuani scored that wonder goal against Sunderland, although I believe he's doubtful for Saturday. Jordan Rhodes is there, who's knocked around the Championship, scored a lot of goals there. Again, I think he's doubtful. You mentioned Adam Forshaw before. He obviously went from Everton to Brentford to Wigan to Middlesbrough, so he's got a lot of experience.
Well, that's good, isn't it? I mean, that's proof that when a player gets released, loads of people go, Adam Forshaw, what do we release him for if he's back in the Premier League? You know, but it is like the Mustafi thing, and it is like the Eric Dyer thing. If there's not a path for them, and someone like Ryan Leds can take you know, a lot from this as well. If there's not a genuine path for them, sometimes they have to go on that little bit of a magical mystery tour through the lower leagues to get themselves back up, and then, you know, it's great to see that he's now in the Premier League, and hopefully he'll find his feet.
Yeah, because obviously if you're at a Premier League club as a footballer, you're obviously a good footballer, but it's the little bits, you know, you'll get the ones like your Wayne Rooney's, Ross Barkley, Steven Gerrard's, them kind of players who you look and go, they were always going to be in that team anyway. And then you'll get other ones who have to have a little bit of a different path to try and build them up. I remember Leon Osmond saying it was only when he went out and played for Carlisle and Derby that he realised that people's livelihoods were on the line, and because they're so sheltered. And Ryan Ledson will get that. He'll go there and drop down as a good player. And good players invariably, when they as long as they don't suffer from injuries, will work their way back up because they're good footballers, and that's what Forshaw's done. And you know, he was excellent when Brentford nearly got up a couple of years ago. He was brilliant, and went to Wigan, carried it on, and ended up at Borough and has done really well at Borough. So, you know, there is paths there. Everton put an amazing amount of lads who into football league, into careers in football. So, you know, it's great to see him doing well. Hopefully he doesn't do very well Saturday, but from then on he carries on. But further testament to the academy, I suppose, that there's another player playing Premier League football. They're
not always there to just produce players for the club. They're there to produce players for football.
Exactly.
And pay for themselves as well, in a way as well. You know what I mean?
That's it, isn't it? That's the thing. But listen, this will be a tough game for us. There's no doubt about it. People can look and go, it's only Borough, but the 9th, you know, and they've already, you know, like I said before, 3 out of 4 games they haven't lost, so you have to look at it like that. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I expect us to win at the weekend, because I think with the form that we're in, I think that the creative players we've got, the Balassi gives us what I thought he'd give us, which is that pace and power and direction. Morales is playing, you know, second half the other night was fantastic. Lukaku amongst the goals, you've got Delafeu there, there's Ross Barkley there. If you know, if he gets his head up and starts playing again, you know, you've got you can't let any kind of Toffee TV video go without mentioning Ghana. He's a tremendous player, by the way.
Tremendous player. But they seemed to suffer last week, Middlesbrough, from against Crystal Palace, from crosses and a big Belgium up front. So let's hope that happens again. If Balassi's in the mood and Rom's in the mood, because I'd like to see, we'd all like to see, you know, Rom knocking in a couple of goals, keeping that run, momentum, you know, keeping the momentum, because he gets in these good runs, you know. So hopefully he'll get on the score sheet, and hopefully it'll be, you know, a comfortable, you know, 2-0 win. I'd be happy with that.
7-1.
Okay, 7-1.
But 3-1. I mean, I want Delafeu.
I don't want to concede.
I want Delafeu to score more than any other.
Okay.
A, because he could have been wearing red on Saturday at Borough, but because I just think he needs a goal. I think a goal picks his confidence up. We've seen him get in a couple of times the other night against Sunderland, and you can see that the goal looks about that big for him at the minute. I think he needs a goal, but interesting.
2-0 will do me. Just a nice, comfortable victory to take us into Norwich next week, and obviously onto Bournemouth for the away game next week. Before we go, very quickly, Everton Crazy, David France's autobiography. It's coming out. If anyone wants to buy it, there's a link on our website, toffeetv.net. There's a little link, there's a picture link on there to the book. But we're going to be doing a Q&A, a live Toffee TV show. It's going to be in the Winslow. It's on the 8th of October. It is a 2 o'clock start, so the window will be open, and then there's food. It's a £5 to get in, but that'll be knocked off the purchase of a book if you want to buy the book. But for a £5, come on, you know what I mean? Live Q&A, be a good laugh. There's food. If you want to stay around afterwards, the England game will be on live. I don't know, maybe they can put Wales on. We can watch Ashley. You know, Ashley, yeah. So yeah, get in touch with us about tickets. There's a limited amount because obviously it's in the Winslow, it's not a massive place. So let us know if you want to go to that as well. T-shirt, the link for the T-shirt will be in the video description. There's not many left. Baz, he's got a caravan to pay for. Do you know what I mean? Need to sell those T-shirts.
Fly to America.
Sure. Yeah, I know we're selling you loads, but you know, we're just giving you what you want. Giving you what you want. But yeah, if you want tickets for that Q&A with David France, Ronnie Goodless, it's for Ronnie Goodless's charity as well, Health Through Sport as well. So it's all good. It's all good. Be a couple of hours. There's no footy on that weekend. No Everton anyway. And it'll be a bit of a laugh. If you want to come down, watch the show, just come for a chat. Come for, you know, meet like-minded blues. It'll be a good laugh.
And listen to Dr. France.
Dr. France with his amazing stories, and his amazing life story as well, which he's put in a book. So yeah, anything on the Borough game, leave us in the comments. Don't forget to watch our starting 11 show. We'll have our team that we want to start against Middlesbrough. Don't forget to watch that as well, and we'll see you later on Toffee TV.